was very happy. It was planned, so I was looking forward to it. And I was even happy when I found out it was going to be a boy.
See, I came up hard that I was thinking about my own childhood and how I can improve as a parent.
Wow, besides being happy, major thoughts went into my future plans.
So I think being a dad has made me more responsible, especially as it relates to just financially and health-wise. So I think I do way more in terms of taking care of my health and just ensuring that my finances are in order to ensure that kids can have the best life.
So I have to cut out the party, take things serious, and work twice as hard.
So my life has been changed by compromising how I spend money and compromising time.
Kids are always watching. Even when you don't think they're looking, they're watching you. So always ensure that you're doing the right thing, saying the right thing, and representing yourself as how you'd want them to as well.
Be a kid's role model. That's it.
Provide, nurture, and care. Never give up. Time will get rough, but there's a whole lot of happy times.
One, always speak up, and two, practice makes perfect.
Be themselves, be the best version of the father they can provide.
Here at Key Insurance, Christmas is a time to reflect on the peace and joy we hope for everyone, our friends, our families, and you, our valued customers.
Thank you for trusting us with your protection and your peace of mind throughout the year.
As a team, we are here to serve you every day. And during this holiday season, we are especially grateful for the opportunity to serve you.
May this Christmas bring you joy, health, and the comfort of knowing we are always here by your side, protecting what matters most.
From all of us here at Key Insurance, we'd like to wish you a Merry Christmas and a bright and prosperous New Year. Hi guys, my name is Kalisha, and welcome to Pop the Balloon, the Insurance Edition. Let's bring out our first guest. So, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Good day, ladies. My name is DJ So Fresh. I like to play football and music, basically, yeah. Yes.
So, ladies, do you have any questions for DJ So Fresh?
So, do you have insurance?
Insurance, no, really.
Wow. So, you popped your balloon first. Tell us why.
Appearance alone, not my type, but no insurance, that's a deal breaker for me.
Wow. It seems you have something else you want to say. Care to share?
If he can protect his future, how is he going to protect mine or his?
How about you?
So Fresh, insurance is not just about cars, it's about responsibility, security, and the peace of mind.
So, DJ So Fresh, now that the ladies have spoken, what do you have to say?
Well, I look like I have to get some insurance.
And there you have it. Insurance is extremely important. Get insured today. Join us again next time.
Key Insurance, giving you easy and convenient ways to secure your home, business, and motor vehicles. Visit us online at keyinsurancejm.com.
Isn't this the guy from Pop the Balloon?
Hey DJ So Fresh, long time no see.
We should link up sometime.
Do you have insurance?
Insurance. No. Really.
We're just joking about the balloon.
How dare you? What just happened?
DJ So Fresh knows the key to handling business. That's why he trusts the people's insurer. With a Key Insurance third-party motor insurance package, his ride is fully covered. Smart moves only. Key Insurance for easy, reliable coverage. Visit any of our 6 locations island-wide or head to keyinsurancejm.com to learn more.
Turn the key.
Turn the key to your next travel adventure with Key Insurance. You can now purchase your travel insurance packages for individuals or families directly from our website. Visit keyinsurancejm.com, select products, then travel insurance in the menu bar. Hit purchase. And you're on your way. It's that simple. Turn the key to secure travel coverage for your next business or vacation trip with a Key Insurance travel package.
Turn the key.
Conditions apply.
I was very happy. It was planned, so I was looking forward to it. And I was even happier when I found out it was going to be a boy.
See, I came up hard that I was thinking about my own childhood and how I can improve as a parent.
Wow, besides being happy, major thoughts went into my future plans.
So I think being a dad has made me more responsible, especially as it relates to just financially and health-wise. So I think I do way more in terms of taking care of my health and just ensuring that my finances are in order to ensure that kids can have the best life.
So I have to cut out the party, take things serious, and work twice as hard.
So my life has been changed by compromising how I spend money and compromising time.
Kids are always watching. Even when you don't think they're looking, they're watching you. So always ensure that you're doing the right thing, saying the right thing, and representing yourself as how you'd want them to as well.
Be your kid's role model. That's it.
Provide, nurture, and care. Never give up. Time will get rough, but there's a whole lot of happy times.
One, always speak up. And 2, practice makes perfect.
Be themselves, be the best version of the father they can provide.
Here at Key Insurance, Christmas is a time to reflect on the peace and joy we hope for everyone, our friends, our families, and you, our valued customers.
Thank you for trusting us with your protection and your peace of mind throughout the year.
As a team, we are here to serve you every day. And during this holiday season, we are especially grateful for the opportunity to serve you.
May this Christmas bring you joy, health, and the comfort of knowing we are always here by your side, protecting what matters most.
From all of us here at Key Insurance, we'd like to wish you a Merry Christmas and a bright and prosperous New Year.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the 2025 Annual General Meeting of Key Insurance Company Limited. My name is Rochelle Cameron, a Director and Chairman of the Board of Directors. We will start with our opening prayer, which will be delivered by our General Manager, Mrs. Tamara Glaves QC.
Thank you, Chair. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you that you're such a good Father. Father, we give you glory, honor, and praise. Heavenly Father, we pray, oh God, that you just saturate this room, you saturate our online space as we broadcast our annual general meeting. Father, we ask, oh God, that your will be done in this meeting, and we ask that your grace and mercies will continue to abound over Key Insurance, all its stakeholders, and our beautiful island of Jamaica. Lord, have mercy on us. Send us your compassion. Surround us with your love. And we ask that everything that we do and say may it bring glory, honor, and praise to your name. We ask these and other mercies in the name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. I would like to extend a special welcome to the shareholders we have joining us online today. Thank you so much for joining us. This afternoon, we will share with you the company's performance for 2024, and your shareholders will vote on matters related to the business of the company. In 2024, Key Insurance continued its growth trajectory, successfully navigating industry challenges and economic headwinds. Our dedicated employees continue to exemplify our unwavering commitment to our core values and consistently delivered exceptional service and support to our customers. We're grateful for all of their hard work, which has solidified Key Insurance as the preferred choice for our clients. From a governance standpoint, Key Insurance remains firmly aligned with the Jamaica Corporate Governance Code and international best practices. In 2024, the company also completed a smooth and successful transition to IFRS 17, further strengthening transparency and comparability in financial reporting. The Board of Directors, which comprises a majority of independent members, continues to provide strong oversight through the following subcommittees: Audit, Risk and Compliance Committee, Conduct Review Committee, Corporate Governance, and the Loans and Investment Committee. I wish to acknowledge our directors who are joining us online. We have Linval Freeman, who is also chair of the Audit Committee, Herma McCrae, Ashley Ann Foster-Horn, Sandra Masterton, Heather Golson, Kareem Tomlinson, Nicole Case, and Kerry-Ann Evans McGill. As you can see, we've taken diversity seriously. To speak of this year's journey without acknowledging the invaluable leadership of Mr. Don Webby, who demitted office on February 14th, 2025, would overlook a cornerstone of our progress. His leadership was marked by strategic clarity, sound governance, and a deep commitment to the values and vision of the organization. His contributions have been instrumental in strengthening the board's effectiveness and positioning the company for continued progress. Looking ahead, we are excited about the opportunities the future holds for Key. We are steadfast in our commitment, investing in our people, technology, and infrastructure, ensuring that we continue to deliver value to our shareholders while remaining dedicated to our customers, our employees, and the communities we serve. Thank you once again for joining us today. I look forward to a productive and informative meeting. I will now introduce Mrs. Kerry-Ann Evans McGill, Chief Legal Counsel, GKFG, and Company Secretary, Key Insurance. Mrs. McGill will perform the function of Corporate Secretary at today's meeting. Will the Company Secretary please advise if a quorum is present?
Yes, Chair, the requisite quorum of 2 persons as provided for in the Articles of Incorporation are indeed present online.
Thank you, Mrs. McGill. I now invite the Secretary to take us through the protocols for today's meeting.
Thank you, Chairman. Good afternoon, everyone. We ask that you adhere to the following protocols during today's AGM. When you registered for today's meeting, you would have either identified yourself as a shareholder or a non-shareholder. As is customary, only shareholders or their duly appointed proxies are permitted to move and second motions and to vote on resolutions. Please vote on resolutions by clicking the For or Against button, which will appear on your screen. Shareholders will have 10 seconds to cast their votes, after which the results for each resolution will be announced. We encourage you to ask questions. To do so, please submit questions via email to agm@keyinsurancega.com. Half an hour has been allotted for the question and answer segment of the meeting. During this segment, we will take the questions in the order that they have been received. We will first answer any questions we received via email prior to the meeting. Then, we will respond to any questions which we received via email during the meeting. Every effort will be made to address all questions this afternoon, time permitting. Thank you to everyone who has already submitted questions. For those online, please note that there is still time to submit questions via email. As indicated, questions should be submitted to agm@keyinsurancega.com. To avoid undue disruption, your microphones have been disabled. We therefore invite you to use the chat box at the bottom of your screen to interact with each other and to make comments. Please note, however, that questions should not be submitted using the chat box. Only questions submitted via email will be addressed. You can access a copy of the company's annual report on the company's website. In the event you experience any technical difficulties during this afternoon's proceedings, you may reach out to us by calling 876-932-3160 or send an email to agm@keyinsurancega.com. Finally, today's AGM is being live streamed and recorded to enhance stakeholder engagement and to provide an opportunity for persons who are unable to attend the meeting to view the proceedings at a later date. Thank you in advance for complying with these protocols. We look forward to a successful meeting.
Thank you very much, Mrs. McGill. All shareholders would have previously received a notice of this meeting, which was duly published on the Jamaica Stock Exchange and the company's websites in accordance with our amended articles of incorporation. The AGM notice also appears in our 2024 annual report. With your permission, I will take the notice as read. Thank you, shareholders. I will now call upon our General Manager, Mrs. Tamara Glaves-Husey, to make a presentation on the performance of the company over the year ended December 31st, 2024, and the first 6 months of 2025. She will be joined ably by Adrian McBean, Keys CFO. Over to you, Tamara.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon again, everyone. So, yes, I will commence the presentation, and just to highlight the areas that we will be discussing this afternoon. So we will remind you of our mission and vision. They give a company's overview, some of our recognition and awards. We'll also share with you some of our corporate social responsibility activities that we undertook in 2024. I will also provide a financial snapshot and talk about our 2024 strategic initiatives. Then Adrian will tell you about our 2024 financial performance, and he will also speak to our 2025 Q1 financial performance. I will then speak to you again about our strategic initiatives and outlook. So just a reminder, our vision remains to satisfy our customer by providing rather the best possible insurance protection of assets in Jamaica. And our mission is really around protecting our policyholders by providing quality products, excellent service, and security of assets through constant product and technological improvement, of course, delivered by highly motivated and competent staff. And you will note that our vision and mission is closely aligned to that of our parent company, Grace Kennedy Financial Group. A part of the Grace Kennedy Financial Group vision is around advancing the well-being of the communities that we serve, and the mission to provide financial solutions which help our customers realize their dreams and to have a positive impact on our community. How did Key do in 2024? So we continued in 2024 and into 2025 to offer both motor and non-motor insurance coverage to all our clients. And just a reminder, our non-motor portfolio covers home insurance, business insurance, liability insurance, goods in transit, burglary, just to name a few. Motor insurance continues to be the main breadwinner for this organization. Approximately 65% of our revenues were derived from our motor book of business. We continue to serve our customers in 6 locations here in Crossroads, Kingston, Portmore, Mandeville, Maypen, Ocho Rios, and Montego Bay. We also note in 2024 that the revenues from these 6 locations showed marked improvement when compared to 2023. In 2023, approximately 32% of our revenues were from our branches, but in 2024, we had 39% of our revenues from our branches and 57% through our brokers and 4% through our agents and other insurers. We continue to serve our customers led by the management team, yours truly, supported by Adrian McBean, our Chief Financial Officer, Caroline Isaacs, Reinsurance and Non-Motor Underwriting Manager, Kadeen Da Silva, our HR Manager, Andrew Dunkley, Operations Manager, Paula Williams, Claims Manager, and Terry Joy Galab, our Senior Legal Counsel. In 2024, we received the second runner-up prize from the Jamaica Stock Exchange / PSOJ for corporate governance. And this award we received with honor. It is supported by the joint venture, not just of management, but also our board. Yours truly also received an award for leadership and sterling contribution to the business and financial sector. We continue to take pride in supporting the communities and, of course, Jamaica by our corporate social responsibilities activities. In 2024, we again focused on education, so quite a bit of our time and resources were spent supporting schools in the communities in which we conduct business. So we participated in Read Across Jamaica, and we did this with 2 basic school institutions, the St. Stephenson United School and Torrington Early Childhood Education Center. We also spent Labor Day in 2024 tidying up and just, making sure that the environment was clean and vibrant for learning at the Bridgeport Basic School. Many of you would remember that we had Hurricane Beryl in 2024. We donated non-perishable food items to families in Clarendon. We do have an office in Maypen, and so we contributed to the donation efforts to help families who were adversely impacted by Hurricane Beryl. We also donated school items to a special needs educational institution also. Then we participated in International Coastal Cleanup Day, and this is important for us as we supported Grace Kennedy in ensuring that we play our part in making sure that our environment is clean and continues to remain as best as we can, because we do business in Jamaica. We want to ensure that we're doing so in a clean and safe environment. I will now share with you the overview and financial highlights for 2024. So in 2024, we continued the journey which we started in 2020, really around transforming the business. And part of that transformation also included achieving strong financial results, enhancing our customer service, and of course, deepening our stakeholders' engagement. So we took stock of where we were, what we needed to do. We paid very close attention to our customers' experience. And this is very, very important to the success of our business. And by the activities that we executed, we recognized and realized a score of 84, and this is up from 79% in 2023. Some of the activities that we would have executed successfully on was changes in our digital space. So we enhanced our website, we launched the travel insurance platform, and we also made improvements to the online portal, which allows customers to conduct transactions online. We also onboarded additional team members to help to strengthen not just our customers, but also our partners' experience. And then we implemented a renewal and a survey app. And what this app allowed us to do was to communicate much more seamlessly with our customers at the renewal stage. And most importantly, to obtain feedback via the app. And this, of course, helped us to take on board some of the feedback we would have received from our customers to help to improve our service delivery and, of course, their experience in doing business with us. People and culture. This remains very, very important to the success and continuation of Key Insurance. We, of course, would have taken into consideration the needs of our people. And part of this needs continues to be ongoing training. And so we engaged our team members in training throughout the year. And a part of this training also encompassed the launching of a customer service training. And this training, which we launched in 2024, really helped us to boost the service quality that we were delivering to our customers. We continue to engage our employees. So this was another big plus for us. In 2023, our engagement score was about 73%. We took the feedback from the survey, we executed on the feedback, and our engagement scores improved from 73% to 78% in 2024. So too did our partnership scores. So what we look at is the relationship with our broker partners. We would have done the surveys, gotten their feedback, and we also executed on the feedback, and our scores improved from 81% to 84%. And I will just highlight a few of our metrics, and of course Adrian will provide much more in-depth information as he takes you through his presentation. So our insurance revenue would have increased year over year by about 22%. Our overall loss ratio had a slight elevation, wrong direction, but that's a part of our business, that will happen too. Our return on equity improved, and our profit before tax showed significant improvement when compared to 2023 with a 32% improvement. And I just wanted to give you a little feedback on our motor portfolio because, as I would have indicated earlier, motor accounts for about 65% of our revenues, and our motor book of business, about 67% would be third-party policies. So we are predominantly a third-party motor insurer. Our revenues for motor increased by about 17% over 2023. Our motor loss ratio remained relatively flat year over year, and our risk count grew by about 10%. And so that placed us at about 6% of we have about 8% of the motor market as at the end of 2024. Some of the strategic initiatives that we would have successfully executed in 2024 is really around, for example, our gross written premium. We would have shown improvement in both our motor and non-motor with a growth rate of approximately 12%. Our profit before tax, as I mentioned earlier, we had improvements there. Our investment and other return on equities, we had improvement there with a average rate of return on our equity of about 4.84%. And I would have mentioned our customer and broker satisfaction scores when compared to 2023. So those were some of the initiatives along with our efficiency ratio. Efficiency ratio went a little bit in the wrong direction, and that would have been impacted by claims costs. Notwithstanding, it remains a focus for us in 2025 because we do recognize the importance of ensuring that our efficiency ratio is as low as possibly, because that again helps to drive our PBT. And so at this point, I will pause to allow Adrian to take you through the 2024 financial performance. Adrian.
Thank you, Tamara. Good afternoon, everyone. So it is my job to take you through our financial performance for the year ending 2024. We had a successful year, and so I'll go through some of the highlights. So we start with our insurance revenue. As you can see, we achieved our strongest revenue performance to date. We closed at 3 billion as at 2024, which is 22% over prior year. So this line is predominantly driven by our gross written premiums. If you look to the left of the screen, you'll note that our gross written premium increased from 2.8 billion to 3.1 billion. And as Tamara mentioned before, this is driven predominantly by our motor portfolio. So our motor portfolio contributed 2 billion, while a non-motor contributed 1 billion. And this really speaks to our resilience despite the challenging economic environment that we operate in. In terms of our investment and other income, our investment income increased by 19% year over year. We moved from 192 million to 229 million. Now, our investment portfolio continues to perform well. One of the things that we did was during Q1 and Q2 of last year, we would have locked in some of the higher interest rate, which benefited us, in anticipation of the expected fallout in interest rates, which occurred in the latter part of the year. Our investment portfolio remains liquid and is comprised mainly in fixed income securities. We also saw a small decline in our other income year over year. In terms of our insurance service expenses, and this includes our claims expense, our commissions paid, and a portion of our admin costs, we saw where this increased 24% year over year. This though was driven by an increase in our claims expense, which you can see to the right of the screen, increased by 32% year over year. And this is due to an increase in the frequency and severity of our motor vehicle accidents observed in 2024. In terms of our overall admin expenses, we also saw an increase of 20% year over year. So some of this was inflationary. We also had some increases in staff-related costs and also incurred additional expenses in terms of our audit expenses in 2024. So with that said, we closed 2024 with a profit before tax of 102.5 million, which is 33% higher than what we closed in prior year, and really speaks to our commitment to delivering sustainable financial performance. All right, so a quick recap in case you just joined in. So strong premium growth, we surpassed 3 billion in insurance revenue. Sustained profitability, we recorded 4 consecutive years of profits for the first time since Key's listing. And strong investment returns, delivering our strongest performance. Our investment income surpassed 200 million. We closed at 229 million. I'm also going to take you through our 2025 Q1 financial performance briefly. So in terms of our insurance revenue, we're able to improve on our insurance revenue quarter over quarter by 15%. Again, this growth is driven by steady improvement in our motor portfolio, which contributed 67% of the 801 million reported for Q1 in 2025. In terms of our PBT, we saw increases there as well. We improved quarter over quarter by 27%, closing at 18.7 million, up from 14.7 over last year quarter. In terms of our investment income, so we still grapple with the fall in interest rates as it is now, but we're still able to report small single-digit growth of just 3% quarter over quarter. And finally, our net profit increased by 26%, moving from 9.9 million to 12.4 as at the end of Q1. So we ended the year on a positive note, and we started the year well, and we expect this momentum to continue into Q2 and onwards. I will now hand back over to Tamara, who will take us through our strategic initiatives and outlook.
Thank you. Thank you, Adrian. So for 2025, we have started the year on a very strong footing. We continue to lean heavily on our strategic pillars that we would have put in place 2020 when the new board was implemented or instituted. And those 4 strategic pillars are sustainable growth and development, customer centricity, operational efficiency, and performance-driven culture. Now, for us at Key Insurance, our performance-driven culture is our most important pillar. And the reason for this is we need our people. The support of our people is so much critical to us executing excellently under the other 3 pillars. So under our performance-driven culture, we are focused on ensuring that we engage our team members, they are informed and empowered to deliver excellent service and to create excellent products to meet the needs of our customers. Under our sustainable growth and development, our focus for 2025 is really around increasing our insurance revenues, maximizing our investment performance despite the challenges in the interest rate market, retaining and attracting new customers. For our customers, we are focused on continuously improving their experience with us. We want to ensure that all our business partners are satisfied with the service and products that we have and that we are sending their direction. We also want to improve to ensure that overall our service delivery continues to improve year over year, month over month, day over day. And from an operational efficiency, we are focused on streamlining our business processes, improving our insurance service results. So this is where we manage our expense and our revenues, and improving our receivables management. So what have we done since the year has started? We've introduced our digital branch, and this is really a dedicated team that we have in place, and their focus is to help the business to transition our new and existing customers to our online platform. And this will allow our customers to do business with us much more efficiently and at their convenience. So since we have implemented that team, just focusing on getting the customers to, transition online, we have seen an 8% of our gross written premium coming from our digital branch. We have set our sights on growing our motor portfolio. This is very, very important. You will recall that I mentioned that 65% of our revenues is from our motor book of business. So this means that we have to continue to grow motor. Since the start of the year, we would have seen a 16.5 growth rate year to date when we compared to 2024. We are also focused this year on improving our partners' experience, and a part of that is actually engaging them in activities outside of the office, just to ensure that we strengthen the communication, understand their needs, have a drink with them, talk to them, understand their needs, and just how we can serve them better. And we have commenced executing in that area. We continue to review our internal processes, and this is really with a view to help us to improve our underwriting capabilities. We want to write motor business, we want to do so profitably. And we also want to ensure that all our stakeholders' experiences are where it should be, and our operational efficiency is supporting our profitable growth strategy. And of course, ensuring that we are maximizing all the opportunities that comes our way. So we have seen some challenges with the interest rate. Notwithstanding, we remain focused on optimizing our investment portfolio to drive stronger returns for our stakeholders. We continue to evaluate our products, and we continue to invest in our people to ensure that the level of service that they deliver is top quality, so they have the right information, knowledge base to do so. And we are taking steps to modernize our operating systems, and this we believe will continue to drive our digital transformation strategy and of course help us to operate much more efficiently. Our customers and partners' interaction with us will become much more seamless as we work through these items. And so one of the things that we want to highlight before we close out is that in 2024, the island of Jamaica would have been impacted by Beryl. We are now in the hurricane season, and so we continue to take steps to educate our customers about the importance of having insurance and having adequate coverage in the event that there is a catastrophe, that they are protected. And so we want to remind all our insureds and all of Jamaica the importance of having insurance to protect your most important asset outside, well, your most important asset, that's not your family, and these assets help to protect your family, of course. So at this time, I want to thank you so much for your attention. I want to thank all our stakeholders, our team members. We cannot achieve the success that we have and want to achieve without our team, our broker partners, our reinsurance partners, our customers, our audit partners, just all the stakeholders who continue to support Key Insurance. I also want to thank our board of directors. Strong governance, strong strategic leadership. We thank our board so much for their guidance as they help us to navigate these challenging times, and as we look forward to 2025 ending and of course moving forward into 2026. So again, thank you so much.
Thank you, Tamara. Thank you, Adrian. Shareholders, you would have heard our performance for 2024, but also some insight into the first 6 months of 2025. Key continued with the transformation strategy. We saw some strong financial results, PBT up 33%, enhanced customer service, that resulted in a 5% increase in our customer satisfaction score, and deepening our stakeholder engagement, and we saw a 3% increase in stakeholder engagement. But all of this is not possible without the team at Key Insurance, and the team says that our employee engagement is up 5%. So a very commendable performance. Over the next 30 minutes, we will take the questions. We have some questions that have already been submitted via email. Thank you, shareholders, for submitting your questions. So we'll use the allotted time to answer those questions. Madam Secretary, these are the questions. I can proceed. So the first question that we got is, what led to the significant increase in other receivable? Adrian, can I hand that to you?
Sure. So at the end of the year, or closer to the end of the year, we had submitted some funds to a counterparty for an investment, which was not executed. So the balance relates to that money that would have been due to us, which would have been settled, returned to us in Q1.
Okay. Thank you for that, Adrian. And Adrian talked a bit about our investment, and there's in fact a question from our shareholder asking, what has Key invested in that has led to such a large increase in investment income?
Right. So like I said in my presentation, our portfolio is comprised mostly of fixed income securities. So at present, we invest mostly in repurchase agreements, banknotes, and Bank of Jamaica CDs.
Thank you, Adrian. See, another question here, is Key considering raising any additional capital? And I can say the company is not currently considering raising any additional capital. We have a question asking on a comment on the 25 million increase in fair value reserves.
Okay, so the movement in the fair value reserve is driven. So we did a valuation of our building at the head office building, And based on the unrealized gains, that is what is represented in the line, and that would have contributed to the increase.
Thanks, Adrian. Tamara, this one would be for you. Tamara mentioned Hurricane Beryl, and we actually have a shareholder asking, we note mention was made of Hurricane Beryl. What was the financial impact on the company?
So Hurricane Beryl, for us, the claims cost was around 19 million Jamaican dollars, of course. We had about 41 claims, about 20 of these were motor claims, and these were really glass damage, falling objects impacting windscreen, whether back or front. And we had a few residential policies with claims, so impact about 19 million. Yeah, so not a big impact at all.
Good. So going back to investments, with respect to Keys Investments, what is the makeup of the portfolio? And is it being done to counter falling interest rates? I think you dealt with that in your presentation, but we can go back over it.
Not a problem. So as I said before, the portfolio is mainly composed of short-term fixed income instruments. So again, predominantly repurchase agreements, bank CDs, and government notes, in particular Bank of Jamaica CDs. So like I said, what we would have done is we would have locked in some of the higher interest rates in last year, Q1, Q2. And also what we would have also done is, with the help of our investment manager, we would have tried to invest more in high quality corporate bonds. So those are the two strategies that we would have deployed.
Thank you, Adrian. And I see a question coming in here on post-delisting. What are the plans for the company post-delisting? And of course, we understand you'd be very interested in understanding the plans post-delisting. At this time, the board and the management can't answer any specific questions on that because we are still to be advised. So that will be advised in due course. And this would, of course, lead into the question, what is the status of the takeover offer? As you would be aware, the original closing date of April 22nd was extended to May. And this was in an effort. It is now, in fact, extended to July 11th, 2024, which will, in fact, be the closing date. And this is to give as many shareholders an opportunity to participate in the offer as possible. But the final closing date will be July 11th, 2024. And I think I preempted the following question, which is the reasons for the multiple extensions. And this is really to give our shareholders, as many of our shareholders, an opportunity to be a part of, to take up the offer, but also that persons who may not have been following the press, as many people would be fully advised of the offer. And I'll just take another question on the offer, and this is specifically as regards the basis upon which the independent directors recommended acceptance of the GKFG takeover offer. As we would have indicated earlier, the board comprises of 5 independent directors. And we followed the statutory guidelines in regard to the assembly of a special committee of the independent directors. The directors would have considered, among other things, the share value over the recent months. We did a review of the share values from September 24 all the way to February of 2025 when we considered the offer. And when we looked at the share value, it was the highest it had been over the 4-month period. It was considered a reasonable offer when we also considered matters such as the valuation of the properties, which was available for the end of the 2024 period and as set out in our financials, and also the other asset values. So when, upon review of the material that we had, the Special Independent Committee of the board made a recommendation for the acceptance of the offer. So I see one other question here. Are there any new products in the pipeline? Tamara.
Thank Chair. So we actually have a new product for 2025. It's our Key Secure, and this is a motor product really geared towards insureds with SUVs and small pickup for private use. So we have not done a wide-scale launch of the product. We're testing it in our direct locations because, as you can appreciate, with a new product, you've done your business case. You want to make sure that it's the right product, and we would have pulled this information from feedback received from customers in terms of what they want in this particular product. So what we've had is a really soft launch in our branches, and so we are monitoring just how this product takes shape, and then we will roll it out to the wider market. So we do have a new product, and each year we look at our business and say, okay, what is the feedback from our customers? What are they asking us? What are their suggestions? What are we seeing in our portfolio in terms of segmentation? Where is our loss ratio highest or lowest? And then determine if we do a product or we enhance an existing product to meet the evolving needs of our customers. So yes, short answer, we do have Key Secure, which is geared towards SUV and private pickups.
Thank you, Tamara. And we got an additional question via email. Thank you for the question asking, what happens to the shares after delisting if you do not take up the offer? So I will actually ask our company secretary to give us a response to that question.
Thank you, Chairman. So in the event you do not accept the offer, there are two possible scenarios or two situations that could play out. In the first instance, depending on the number of shareholders that accept the offeror could be in a position to rely on the compulsory acquisition provisions in the Companies Act, meaning they can compel the shareholders that remain to transfer their shares. If it is that the offerer is unable to rely on those provisions, then the shareholders will actually remain a shareholder in the company. However, there'll be shareholders in an entity that is no longer listed on the Jamaica Stock Exchange, meaning they will not be in a position to, for example, trade the shares readily. So those are the two possible scenarios that could apply.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Carrie-Ann. And we encourage shareholders to do another review of the director's circular. A lot of this information is provided in extensive detail with the requisite appendices. So is that the end of our question and answer? Any
additional questions?
Okay. We have not received any additional questions. Shareholders, thank you very much for your questions that have been received. The auditor's report, we are now at that segment. It has been circulated to our shareholders. And I'll now ask Mr. Jason Beek, the Director of Assurance Services at PricewaterhouseCoopers, to read the auditor's report. Mr. Beek?
Good afternoon, shareholders. Independent Auditor's Report to the members or shareholders of Key Insurance Company Limited. Report on the audit of financial statements. Our opinion. In our opinion, the financial statements give a true and fair value of the financial position of Key Insurance Company Limited, the company, as at the 31st of December 2024, and of its financial performance and its cash flows for the year then ended, in accordance with IFRS accounting standards and with the requirements of the Jamaican Companies Act. What we have audited. The company financial statements comprise the statement of financial position as at the 31st of December 2024, the statement of comprehensive income for the year then ended, the statement of changes in equity for the year then ended, the statement of cash flows for the year then ended, and the notes to the financial statement comprising material accounting policies, information, and other explanatory information. Basis for our opinion. We conducted our audit in accordance with International Standards on Auditing, ISAs. Our responsibilities under those standards are further described in the auditor's responsibility for the audit of the financial statements section of our report. We believe that the evidence we have obtained is sufficient and appropriate to provide a basis for our opinion. Independence. We are independent of the company in accordance with the International Code of Ethics for Professional Accountants, including International Independent Standards issued by the International Ethics Standard Board for Accountants, IESBA Code. We have fulfilled our ethical responsibilities in accordance with the IESBA Code. Our audit approach. Audit scope. As part of designing our audit, we determine materiality and assess the risk of material misstatement in the financial statements. In particular, we considered where management made subjective judgments. For example, in respect of significant accounting estimates that involve making assumptions and considering future events that are inherently uncertain. As in all our audits, we also address the risk of management override of internal controls, including, among other matters, consideration of whether there are evidence of bias that represented a risk of material misstatement due to fraud. We tailored the scope of our audit in order to perform sufficient work to enable us to provide an opinion on the financial statement as a whole, taking into account the structure of the company, the accounting processes and controls, and the industry in which the company operates. Key audit matters. Key audit matters are those matters that, in our professional judgment, were of most significance in our audit of the financial statements of the current period. These matters were addressed in the context of our audit of the financial statement as a whole, and informing our opinion thereon. And we do not provide separate opinion on these matters. Key audit matter. Valuation of insurance contract liability. Refer to notes 2N, 4A, and 23 of the financial statement for disclosures of related material accounting policies, estimates, and balances. As at December 31st, 2024, total insurance contract liabilities amounted to $3 billion. Insurance contract liabilities are determined in accordance with IFRS 17 insurance contracts. The company is liable for all insured events that occurred during the term of the contract, even if the loss is discovered after the end of the contract term. As a result, liability claims are settled over a long period of time, and a portion of the claims provision relates to IBNR claims. Management uses qualified external actuaries to assist in determining the valuation of insurance liabilities, to which management apply a discount and risk adjustment factor for non-financial risk. The cost of capital method was used to derive the overall adjustment for non-financial risk. In the cost of capital method, the risk adjustment is determined by applying a cost rate to the present value of the projected capital relating to non-financial risk. The bottom-up approach was used to derive the discount rates. Under this approach, the discount rate is determined as the risk-free yield, adjusted for the differences in liquidity characteristics between the financial assets used to derive the risk-free yield and the relevant liability cash flows, known as the illiquidity premium. The risk-free rate was derived using government bonds rates available in the market denominated in the same currency as the product being measured. We focus on this area due to the complexity in actuarial methods and the significant management judgment applied to the discount rate, risk adjustment factors, and claim settlement pattern. How our audit addressed the key audit matter. The approach to addressing the key audit matter with the assistance of our actuarial experts involved the following procedures, amongst others. Evaluated the accounting policy for any material changes. Update our understanding of management's end-to-end process and control supporting determination of insurance contract liabilities. Tested on a sample basis the completeness, accuracy, reliability of the insurance contracts related claims to underlying source documents as it pertains to premium, unearned premiums, claims outstanding, and claims paid. Assess the independence, experience, and objectivity of management actuarial experts. Evaluated the suitability of the methodology used by a management actuary in establishing insurance and contract liabilities against established actuarial practices and our knowledge of and experience. Perform a methodology and assumptions assessment of management's determination of the discount rate and risk adjustment in the actuarial valuation, considering market data and company-specific facts. Evaluated and tested the reasonableness of management claim settlement patterns by inspecting historical information and sensitized the output to evaluate for management bias. Compare the loss development pattern, which is used to discount the reserve, to the claim settlement pattern and recalculated the discount rate applied to the insurance contract liability. Recalculated and the risk adjustment factor based on management selected distribution and confidence level for future loss emergence. Other information. Management is responsible for the other information. The other information comprises the annual report but does not include the financial statement and our audit report thereon, which is expected to be made available to us after the date of our auditor's report. Our opinion on the financial statement does not cover other information, and we will not express any form of assurance conclusion thereon. In connection with the audit of the financial statement, our responsibility is to read the other information identified above when it becomes available. In doing so, consider whether the information is materially inconsistent with the financial statement or knowledge obtained in the audit, or otherwise appears to be materially misstated. When we read the annual report, if we conclude that there is a material misstatement therein, we are required to communicate this matter to those charged with governance. Responsibility of management and those charged with governance for the financial statement. Management is responsible for the preparation of the financial statement that gives a true and fair view in accordance with IFRS accounting standards and with the requirements of the Jamaican Companies Act, and for such internal controls as management determines is necessary to enable the preparation of the financial statement that are free from material misstatement, whether due to fraud or error. In preparing the financial statement, management is responsible for assessing the company's ability to continue as a going concern, disclosing as applicable matters related to going concern and using the going concern basis of accounting unless management either intends to liquidate the company or to cease operation or has no realistic alternative but to do so. Those charged with governance are responsible for overseeing the company's financial reporting process. Auditor's responsibility for the audit of the financial statement. Our objectives are to obtain reasonable assurance about whether the financial statement as a whole are free from material misstatement, whether due to fraud or error, and to issue an auditor's report that includes our opinion. Reasonable assurance is a high level of assurance, but is not a guarantee that an audit conducted in accordance with ISAs will always detect material misstatement when it exists. Misstatement can arise from fraud or error and are considered material if, individually or in aggregate, they could reasonably be expected to influence the economic decisions of users taken on the basis of these financial statements. As part of an audit in accordance with ISAs, we exercise professional judgment and maintain professional skepticism throughout the audit. We also identify and assess the risk of material misstatement of the financial statement, whether due to fraud or error, design and perform audit procedures responsive to those risks, and to obtain audit evidence that is sufficient and appropriate to provide a basis for our opinion. The risk of not detecting a material misstatement resulting from fraud is higher than one resulting from error, as fraud may involve collusion, forgery, intentional omissions, misrepresentation, or override of internal controls. Obtain an understanding of internal control relevant to the audit in order to design audit procedures that are appropriate in the circumstances, but not for the purpose of expressing an opinion on the effectiveness of the company's internal control. evaluate the appropriateness of the accounting policies used in the reasonableness of accounting estimates and related disclosures made by management, conclude on the appropriateness of management's use of the going concern basis of accounting, and based on the audit evidence obtained, whether a material uncertainty relates to events or conditions that may cast a significant doubt on the company's ability to continue as a going concern. If we conclude that a material uncertainty exists, we are required to draw attention in our auditor's report to the related disclosures in the financial statements, or if such disclosures are inadequate, to modify our opinion. Our conclusions are based on the audit evidence obtained up to date of our auditor's report. However, future events or conditions may cause the company to cease operation as a going concern. Evaluate the overall presentation, structure, and content of the financial statement, the disclosures, and whether the financial statement represents underlying transaction and events in a manner that achieves fair presentation. We communicate with those charged with governance regarding, among other matters, the planned scope and the timing of the audit and the significant findings, including any significant deficiencies in internal controls that we identify during the audit. We also provide those charged with governance with a statement that we have complied with relevant ethical requirements regarding independence, and communicate with them our relationship and other matters that may reasonably be thought to bear on our independence, and where applicable, actions taken to eliminate those threats or safeguards applied. From the matters communicated with those charged with governance, we determined those matters that were of most significance in the audit of the financial statement of the current period and are therefore key audit matters. We describe those matters in our opinion in our auditor's report unless law or regulation precludes public disclosure about the matters, or when, in extremely rare circumstances, we determine that a matter should not be communicated in our report because the adverse consequence of doing so would reasonably be expected to outweigh the public interest benefits of such communication. Reports on the other legal and regulatory requirements. As required by the Jamaican Companies Act, we have obtained all the information and explanations which, to the best of our knowledge and belief, were necessary for the purposes of our audit. In our opinion, proper accounting records have been kept so far as appear from our examination of those records, and the accompanying financial statements are in agreement therewith and give the information required by the Jamaican Companies Act in the manner so required. The engagement partner on the audit resulting in this auditor's report is Paul Williams, PricewaterhouseCoopers, Chartered Accountants, Kingston, Jamaica, February 28, 2025. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Beek. We have heard our auditor's report, and at this juncture, we will move for the approval of our resolutions, starting with Resolution 1 in the AGM notice. And you will recall the protocol set out by our company secretary. So, may we have a motion that the audited financial statements for the year ended 31st December 2024 and the reports of the directors and auditors circulated with the notice convening the meeting be and are hereby adopted.
Shareholders, we're now encouraging you to move and to second the motion. May I have someone to please move? Moved by Kerry-Ann Mew and seconded by... Need someone to second? Heather Bowie. So moved.
Thank you very much. So we will now take the vote. Ladies and gentlemen, online the resolution is now displayed on your screen, and I ask that you submit your vote in favor or against.
votes are now in.
The votes have been submitted?
Confirm.
Okay. The votes have been submitted. The Secretary has confirmed that the majority has voted in favor of this resolution. I declare the motion carried. The directors retiring from office by rotation pursuant to Article 97 of the company's Articles of Incorporation are Nicole Case, Ashley-Ann Foster-Horn, and Heather Golson. Ladies and gentlemen, the directors on your screen, Nicole Case, Ashley-Ann Foster-Horn, and Heather Golson, have an excellent record of board meeting attendance and participation. The board is satisfied that they have made a valuable contribution to date, and they have demonstrated their commitment to continue serving as directors. Further details on all our directors are available on the company's website and in the recently published annual report. May we first have a motion that the directors retiring by rotation and offering themselves for re-election be re-elected en bloc.
May I please have a shareholder to move and one to second? Moved by Carleen Isaacs.
Thank you.
And seconded by Carrie-Ann Mew.
So moved. We will now take the vote. Ladies and gentlemen online, the resolution is now displayed on your screens. I ask that you submit your vote in favor or against. Madam Secretary. So the votes have been submitted. The Secretary has confirmed that the majority has voted in favor of this resolution. With that, the motion is carried and we will now formally move to the re-election of these individuals. May we motion that Nicole Case, Ashley-Ann Foster-Horn, and Heather Golson be re-elected en bloc.
Once again, shareholders, inviting someone to move and someone to second this resolution. Moved by Heather Bowie and seconded by Carleen Isaacs. Can we now take the vote?
You will see the resolution displayed on the screens. The votes have been submitted. The Secretary has confirmed that the majority has voted in favor of this resolution. I declare the motion carried. As it relates to the appointment of auditors for the company, may we please have a motion that PricewaterhouseCoopers Chartered Accountants, having signified their willingness to serve, continue in office as auditors of the company pursuant to Section 154 of the Companies Act to hold office until the conclusion of the next annual general meeting at a remuneration to be fixed by the directors of the company. Carry on.
May we now have a motion to, may I please have a shareholder to move and one to second the motion? Moved by Carleen Isaacs again and seconded by Carrie-Ann Mew.
Ladies and gentlemen, online, the resolution is now displayed on your screens. I ask that you submit your vote in favor or against. The votes have been submitted. The Secretary has confirmed that the majority has voted in favor of this resolution. I declare the motion carried. As regards Directors' remuneration, may we have a motion that the amount shown in the accounts of the company for the year ended 31st December 2024 as fees of the Directors be and is hereby approved.
Once again, inviting a shareholder to move and one to second the motion. Thank you, Carleen. Thank you, Carrie-Ann.
So moved. We will now take the vote. And ladies and gentlemen, the resolution is displayed on your screen, and I ask that you submit your vote in favor or against. The votes have been submitted. The Secretary has confirmed that the majority has voted in favor of this resolution. I declare the motion carried. Finally, may we have a motion that the Corporate Governance, Nomination and Compensation Committee of the Board of Directors is authorized until the conclusion of the next annual general meeting to fix the fees of the directors.
May I please have a shareholder to move and another to second this motion? Moved by Heather Bowie and seconded by Carrie-Ann Mew.
So moved. We'll now take the vote. Ladies and gentlemen, the resolution is displayed on your screens, and I ask that you submit your vote in favor or against.
Votes are in.
The votes have been submitted, and the Secretary has confirmed that the majority has voted in favor of this resolution. I declare the motion carried. Ladies and gentlemen, this officially concludes the agenda for today's meeting. We wish to extend our sincere thanks to everyone who participated in our 2025 AGM. Based on this afternoon's presentations, it's evident that the entire KEY team is steadfast in its commitment to providing our customers with the highest quality insurance while simultaneously ensuring strong returns for our shareholders. With such a highly motivated and competent team, we are truly optimistic about what the future holds. Thank you very much for your continued support. Please stay safe and have a good rest of the afternoon. The meeting is hereby terminated.
Isn't this the guy from Pop the Balloon?
Hey DJ So Fresh, long time no see.
We should link up sometime.
Do you have insurance?
Insurance. No. Really.
We're just joking about the balloon.
How dare you? What just happened?
DJ So Fresh knows the key to handling business. That's why he trusts the people's insurer. With a Key Insurance third-party motor insurance package, his ride is fully covered. Smart moves only. Key Insurance for easy, reliable coverage. Visit any of our 6 locations island-wide or head to keyinsurancejm.com to learn more.
Turn the key.